overheating problem early in the race?
Oh, he got somebody spinning.
Ken Schrader is around.
Left rear.
Caution is out.
Left rear tire went flat.
And you know what that means, don't you?
Green, white, checker.
There he is, the 49 car, and when those tires go flat, you just instantly lose control. And there's the wall.
On that 80. Caution has just come out for Kyle Busch, the race leader.
You'll never guess why.
Tire issue?
Pretty obvious, huh? Man, this is so brutal.
No warning, boys. No warning.
Rush and roll out. I mean, just don't know who it's going to be.
And that
when
time,
it's your turn.
I'm sorry, Wally, that was 19 green flag laps.
So we're getting less and less laps.
But he ran the car harder than most of these guys have been running the car.
Ran his fastest speed of the night on lap 140 10 laps ago.
There you see him going through the trial mode. Wow.
Almost the same spot that Junior at the wall, but now back in the wall again.
Coming at you.
Oh boy.
Fab shops will be busy this week.
Yes.
Bill back here in the garage. Kurt Busch taking a moment to kind of collect his thoughts. Hopefully we can get a word with him in a moment. You see the work going on the 97 car. John Monson, one of the crew members at Roush Racing, trying to get the hood bit back out. Jimmy Finning confirmed for me it was a right rear tire that went down on the 97 car. A lot of damage. This would be the second year of the crash on the racetrack.
Two cars are involved. Kasey Kahne and Reed Sorenson. NASCAR in this telecup debut for Sorenson.
Guys just were all packed up getting into turn 3, and one guy moved a little bit into the next guy, and they just ran out of real estate.
It wasn't a matter of if, it was just a matter of
when.
who.
Yeah, we saw it coming.
A lot of damage that main car.
Guys go barreling down in here, and you can see there's just everybody is stacked up on top of each other. They just run out of room.
It looks like the 39 car might have made contact with Scott Wimmer, 22 car, as he tried to get down into turn 3. And to get off the 22, he had to veer back to the right. It just never did catch up.
Well, he had 3 cars underneath him. I don't think he realized he had 3 cars below him.
And we go on board with Kasey Kahne.
See all the cars down low. Yeah, you can't go 4 wide in these corners here, Atlanta. Well, you can go in 4 wide, you just can't come out 4 wide.
We're in it, Tom.
Let's try the shot on board Michael Waltrip.
Bottom down here. Watch in front of you. Slow and high. Slow high. Slow high. Right in front of you. Coming around. Nice job. Caution is out.
Had a couple that Michael has missed today.
Joey Meyer said, nice job. Congratulating his driver, Michael Waltrip.
That was a good shot.
His car wouldn't turn, so they made an adjustment for that. Now it turns way too well. Very loose for Kasey.
And here we go.
Sterling Marlin, 24 laps.
Yeah, he just, I mean, it's unreal. You know it's coming.
Well, Matt Kenseth, you know, he had passed the leader, was in front of the leader. Well, he had just made an unscheduled stop with another flat tire, right front tire flat, when Sterling Marlin has that problem.
And our guys from pit road had told us that Carl Edwards was approaching the situation where he might have to pit under green. He's right now scored as the last car on the lead lap.
And he was only a few seconds in front of the leader, Elliott Sadler.
And like normally these right fronts, when they blow like that, they don't give you any warning. You don't really feel it coming most of the time. Marty?
And Wally, not in this case. They asked Sterling, did you have any idea? He said, no, it just went all of a sudden. I had no clue that was going to happen.
On board, Sterling Marlin.
When he was down on the bottom of the racetrack, so he went all the way up the track, and that's where you hit the wall the hardest. We talked about Junior doing it right out the straight, almost on the straightaway, so he didn't have as far to go, but Sterling hit it about as hard as you can hit it.
Looks like he is okay. He's driving the car back beat up as it is.
And he did drop the window net, the indication that he is okay.
But I tell you what, you keep hitting the wall at 160, 70 miles per hour one of these days.
Front tire. And those guys were just in, I believe. I think they just made a pit stop. David Stremme.
He pitted on lap
maybe
2.
they weren't in. Maybe I saw somebody else.
He was in the top 5.
Yeah, okay.
He's trying to get out of the way.
Boy, he went in a ton.
I was coming off of turn 4. He's going home.
David Stremme will be driving the 40 car that Sterling Marlin is driving in 2006.
And he did not pit.
First car.
Stremme was all the way down at the bottom of the corner, and for a tire blow like that, he went all the way up the track and got one heck of a run before he hit the wall.
And got it turned at a very sharp angle to hit the wall.
He was one of the 9 guys that did not pit on lap 217.
And I'll tell you, if it wasn't for these safer barriers, PP, these guys would be getting out a lot slower.
I'm telling you.
The safer barrier, the energy absorbing wall inside of the outside concrete wall. Has warned some of these drivers, including Michael Waltrip and Dale Jarrett, not to hang back on restarts.
Sadler spins.
Has led 112 laps, backs it into the wall, almost exactly what happened to Tony Stewart.
Come on now, come on, come on, come on.
Bliss gets a piece of it. You just do not want to be up front tonight.
I don't think you want to be racing tonight.
Yeah,
Burns.
that's true.
Dave Burns.
He did shout to his crew, "I've got a flat," just before that, guys.
Now they will probably
Here we're going to fix. We'll finish this thing. Come on.
bring the blowers out. They need to blow the apron. Because obviously they got a lot of debris down, so they'll need to blow this place off really good. Here we go.
I can't believe he lost the tire there. I think it just went out from underneath him. Yep. It just spun up into
And boy, if you know a tire's going down and you're at the front of the pack, not a whole lot you can do.
And you get out like that, you're pretty fortunate.
Yeah. Everybody did a good job.
The best of a bad situation, yes.
Although I think Bliss probably got ran into by somebody.
It's too bad for Mike Bliss.
There's Bliss there in the 0 car. Looks like Scott Riggs is going to get into him.
You got to go a long way to see one like this. Unbelievable.
Okay. Third caution of the race.
Car just made a right-hand turn as he entered turn 3. And he's a little hot. I don't blame him.
Well, you know what causes that.
Right front tires go flat and the cars want to go straight.
Jeff Green will be the lucky dog. He's going to try and get back to the pit road after Stewart goes by. On board.
Just sit, just listen. I mean, that's clearly a blown right front tire.
Coming inside, we just hit the outside wall, guys.
When the car goes into the corner and it just doesn't turn and go straight, that's a tire.
So Junior back to the garage. Stuck in. Bobby Labonte has brought out the caution here at the Brickyard.
This is the right front tire problem on the 18 car. He's lost the air pressure in the tire, which causes the car to go straight in the wall.
Yeah.
And he'll go straight to the garage. Dave?
And the sad note from Bobby Labonte, I'm going to the garage. It's over. After he was running top 10, guys, again, for a team that has not run well this year, to have a great finish at Pocono 2 weeks ago, and then to come here and run in the top 10 again, and now this.
Former winner of the Brickyard 400. See what we can see. It's already over. Just like the day.
Looks like it happened going in turn 3.
somebody was trying to slow down and get pit lane.
Kasey Mears.
Bobby
Labonte. Schrader's in the grass. Several cars down pit road.
I think somebody was trying to come to the pits, BP, and he did not tell the guys behind him he was coming, and it jammed it up. Go.
He's coming down the backstretch. We see the 42. Oh, I'm sorry. This is off turn 4.
Yep.
See,
there's a lot to watch right there.
I think Junior has some contact with the 17 car as he tried to go through that. Oh, and Biffle just barely missed the 10 car.
And I'll tell you who's lucky is Schrader, because he gets out of the grass, but Bobby Labonte gets stuck in it.
And I walked across that grass today.
That wasn't very bright.
Watch the 42 slows down, because he sees the 24 slowing down. Riggs slows down, moves up the racetrack in the 10 car, and that's what started the chain reaction.
And watch. Oh, Biffle just almost got into that crash. But you're right. Schrader was so lucky to get through that mud.
From a robotic camera outside of 4.
Riggs he moved up to avoid the 42. He went up the racetrack, and Mark saw him coming, and Mark turned right and ran out of room.
All those drivers' hopes of winning at Daytona up in smoke. On board with Jeff Burton.
Wow.
Now let's ride with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
This should be good.
And let's listen and see if we hear any contact.
Yeah, got some probably contact on the right front, maybe knocked the toe out.
Inside, coming inside.
Now on board with Jeff Gordon.
There you go. There's the wave he's signaling, but tough to see.
That's a signal that he's coming to pit road.
Right. He keeps looking in the mirror, hoping, okay, those guys know I'm coming in. And this is when it all starts happening behind him. Okay, now watch the 42. The 42 sees the 24 slowing down. The 42 slows down. The 10's coming. He sees 42. Uh-oh. I better not hit him. I'm going to move up the racetrack. He moves up the racetrack right in front of Mark. Mark goes to the right, starts sliding, gets in the wall, and then
Busch, Riggs,
everybody gets involved. And it happens that fast. I mean, when you're out there and you're running and you see a guy slide up in front of you, you turn that wheel a little bit, and that car will go in a 4-wheel drift, just like it happened to Mark, and there's nothing you can do.
Mike Bliss sitting in the middle of the track.
Major damage.
Well, you can tell the disappointment in his voice. There's Bliss.
The 0 car has hit the outside wall. And Ricky Rudd.
I'm sure this is just being at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Tell you.
Let's take a look.
There you see the 20 car. Oh, Bliss gets into the 10 car, hits Sterling, and throws, literally, Sterling into the 21 car. That's just being, like I said, the wrong place at the wrong time.
And then the 21 car comes down, hits the inside wall.
Man, and Stewart was just a car away from that mess.
Tony right there in the 20, race leader.
Sterling Marlin tried to launch in that 40 car.
Caution is out. Jeff Gordon involved.
Let's see if we have any idea what might have happened. That's in progress.
No.
Got in the center.
Let's go on board with the 11. Jason Leffler, and see if we can see anything.
Well, there's Mike Bliss there on the inside.
That's what happened.
Yep, just got it.
Stay low. Inside. Clear all around.
Got into Jeff Gordon's left rear quarter panel. That was pretty self-explanatory right there. You don't need to really elaborate on that one.
Wow. So Gordon will take a hit in the points in addition to the hit on the track.
Pressure that NASCAR mandates in the cars.
Whoa,
We got car blowing up.
Behind you. Blowing up behind you.
Jamie McMurray, Michael Waltrip, they got Dale Jarrett.
got in it.
Carl Edwards slides by.
Oh, man. Michael had such a great run going.
Something happened to Robbie Gordon. He just went through the grass. He's headed for pit road.
I don't think he's got any brakes.
There's Robbie. Went right through the infield grass through an opening in the wall.
I think something happened to the 7 car. Someone blew up in 3 and 4.
Well, there's a couple of guys that, I mean, Michael and those guys were side by side, and they were Jamie McMurray.
Right.
And McMurray got loose underneath the 15 car, so it made 2 different things, I think, happen.
That's like we saw with Stewart and Ryan Newman last night.
Yep.
Dale Jarrett, Talladega winner from a couple of weeks ago. All right.
Now watch what happens. See, Jamie's on the low side we talked about earlier. It's loose on the bottom when you're that close to each other. McMurray just gets up into Michael, and they both spin out. There's Jarrett, gets right into it. I'm not sure where's Robbie's deal.
I think he's back in the corner. There you see him at the very top of the screen smoking.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's blown a front tire or just blew up.
And now on board with Michael Waltrip.
Oh, blowing up behind you. Blowing up behind you.
And we're wrecking.
Thank you, NASCAR.
And on board the UPS Ford with Dale Jarrett.
This will be ugly.
Push it down. Put your hands up. Keep coming. Stay high. Keep coming.
That is a terrible feeling when you see this big gap in front of you, and you're like, I'm going for it, and then all of a sudden it closes right up in front of you.
And Carl.
All right, go to the bottom. Go to the bottom.
It's just a matter of when. And
All right, guys, go to the garage.
You just hope it's not you.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
When's the next one going to happen, and who's it going to be? Hang on.
Wow. Man, oh man. That's a shot right there.
Folks, I can't tell
Stay
you
up top. Stay up top.
how hard that is.
Things going on here. NASCAR was looking at
Oh, trouble on straightaway. It's Riggs.
Riggs has gone around down the front stretch.
And Jamie McMurray is spun. I don't think Jamie has hit anything.
McMurray stopped on the front stretch.
But unfortunately, the engine, he finally gets it refired.
Turned him off the corner.
Heard somebody say Bobby Labonte got in the back of the 10 car off the corner.
His right side tires on the 42 car are both flat. Jamie McMurray right now.
He's on board with Riggs. He's got some serious damage.
Going to the garage.
It's probably the best place, Scott, to try to repair those problems would be the garage.
It's hard to say. NASCAR was looking at the 99 for possible smoke. May have been a tire rub. And one point about Jeff Gordon, he is one of those guys in that race for 11th, which with the bonus pays $1 million. Right now, Gordon has that 11th spot by 31 points over Elliott Sadler. Let's go to the replays, see what we can find.
Now it looks like the 10 car's got Riggs down on the bottom, and these guys were just trying to get by, and Bobby Labonte turned them. And we talked about it earlier. Riggs was struggling, and right in the middle of it all.
Pit road is still closed. On board with Harvick.
It's going to be a good clear out.
Rick's got a little loose there. And here's a ride for you on board with Riggs. And the full course caution.
Be all right. What we got to have?
Oh boy. New front clip.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to fix that car, be able to fix this car and get him back on the race.
And he's actually trying to gas it, trying to save it.
Oh boy.
That's a hard hit.
That was a hard hit.
Not wrecked it. My fault. Sorry.
Racer trying to catch him, but there's caution on the racetrack with Michael Waltrip.
Wow, that's a strange place to crash too. It's right there in the right before the inner loop. Wonder if he got turned back there.
Well, you're hustling right there, aren't you?
Yeah,
I'm fine.
But Michael is fine. But he knows that he has a lot of damage to the Napa Chevrolet, and he's taking everything off.
Well, let's see. They're in a pack here. And yep, he gets turned by Kasey Kahne.
That is a wild ride.
Wow, that's a hit. Take a ride with Michael as this happens.
You want to go road course racing at the Glen?
All these guys were bunched up, but it just doesn't take much. There he goes on to the back straightaway, just minding his own business, and not much you can do when somebody picks up the rear wheels off your race car.
Let me know if you're okay, Mike.
Here we go. This is a real speed. And you can just see how fast these cars are moving.
Boy, I'm glad he's okay. Bobby Hamilton Jr., Jimmy Spencer. Did Mark get a piece of it?
Skinner's in there.
Big Schrader on that one.
Well,
These cars, I saw these cars going down the backstretch. Spencer was 3 wide in the middle, and he tried his best to get out of that situation that I don't think was successful.
somebody was judge and jury there for Kenny Schrader.
Wow. Skinner, we see water coming out of the radiator on that car, so
He's got a few issues there. Look at the bottom of the screen, see what we can. Nope, they've already got it going there.
I guess it was Spencer, Schrader, and Burton that were 3 wide, and all this behind them was just the accordion effect.
Here we go. There's Schrader down on the bottom. There's just like you say, you can't go 3 wide into turn 3.
Too many cars, too little track.
Yeah.
Another look.
There's Schrader on the bottom. There's Spencer in the middle.
Next car's a lap car, the 50. Stay with it.
Just no room.
Yeah.
So Spencer gets in the left rear of the 31 car. Let's go on board with this car.
That looked like it was about 5 guys' fault, not just one.
And a lot of them had cameras. That's Jeff Burton.
Well, we know Jeff Burton is going to have to go to the garage pit area and try to. That fire is nothing to be concerned about, just some fuel in the exhaust.
Yeah, you can't convince me of that. There you go.
See, it went out. All they had to do is start it up.
All right, man, I don't want to blow a tire here.
Oh, in trouble!
Here we go.
Harvick is around. In the grass. Caution is out.
That's Carl Edwards up against the outside wall.
Yep. They almost make contact
Elliott
again.
Sadler down through the grass.
Oh, more cars spinning down in turn 1.
That Wimmer.
There's Wimmer. Number of guys went down pit road.
Well, the 29 car is going to be in the crash. This guy is going to be in the. All right, roll it.
Came down on Carl Edwards in the 99. And that Kevin Harvick was right in the middle of it.
And there's Busch going through the grass.
And there's a 22 car on the inside of Jeff Gordon. Oh, and Mike Wallace just squeezes by.
Was that Mike Wallace or was that Mayfield?
than I thought his mic could have been Mayfield. I don't think Elliott Sadler hit anything.
No.
That was weird. I mean,
He's got a story to tell.
He really came down the racetrack. Doesn't take much.
Is that Rusty? Rusty just missed it.
Yeah, Mike Wallace did a good job.
Yeah, he sure did.
That.
You're right, it was Mike.
Wow. Robbie Gordon locks him up. He's got a right front flat, locking him up, trying to avoid it.
Watch from upstairs.
Watch the car on the high side, 31 car. Yeah, it was tough to see from that angle.
From that, yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how the 22 car.
Yeah, that all happened later.
Yeah, all happened later. And he looked like he was straight back then.
I bet you the 5 and the 22 met somewhere. This is on board with Dale Jarrett.
Man, that's right down pit road. Yeah. Good move, DJ.
And you can come on to pit road at that speed, but you must slow down to avoid the penalty.
Of that car except for the left rear corner.
And that is a piece of brake rotor.
Brake broke.
You said brakes? Something happened with brakes?
The rotor may have exploded.
Full course, caution, excuse me.
No, it was the brakes. I lost the brakes. They broke. I turned it into the outside wall.
See, that's what happened to Matt Kenseth.
There it is. Broken rotor.
Yeah, that's what happened to Kenseth at I think at Indy. There's a brake rotor exploded.
And he turned it into the wall to slow the car down, because now that there's pavement down there at the end of that turn 1, it's not like going through the gravel at 140 miles per hour to slow the car down. There's nothing to slow the car down. So he turned it into the wall to scrub off some speed, which was a smart thing to do.
There we see brake rotor pieces. You're right. The rotor is broken. Pieces are flying around before he ever gets to the wall.
Yeah, as soon as he hit the brakes, he was at the braking point. So as soon as he hit the brakes, that thing exploded. I'm not sure he turned in the wall or got turned in the wall because of the brakes. Because normally when you explode one rotor, the other rotor grabs and will turn the car. But regardless, he scrubbed off speed. Brakes aren't hot here. No,
not at all.
And the right rear tire has exploded on the 48 car.
It looked like it was low, and Biffle was right. I mean, the tire looked low, and we got a shot of it. Got to listen to what that car's telling you. Jimmie Johnson knew something was wrong. Right in front of the leader, Jeff Gordon.
His teammate.
And there's the end of his championship hopes right there.
Jimmie Johnson, second in the championship.
The garage.
The last 2 seasons was hoping to get.
That is the leader in your mirror.
That's right. That is the leader. So he tries a little bit harder, but there's nothing he can do with that flat tire. There we see the tire blow just before he spun. The outside tire lost the air.
Chad, backed it in the fence left side.
We heard him say, I don't know what this car is doing.
Well, like I said, I mean, he knew something was wrong with that race car.
Fluid tire.
And
Great job. Good season. Go.
Johnson out of the car and out of the championship chase.
Damaged. Talk about the fact that you knew you had a problem, but not wanting to pit under green.
Yeah, I knew that I had a problem, but I didn't feel like I had a flat. And for some reason, the right rear tire blew out going down into turn 3. You can see it here on the ground. It's just exploded going down the backstretch. I was like 2 or 3 seconds off the pace, was losing a lot of time. But I didn't have a soft tire, so I'm not really sure what happened or why. But either way, we're out of this deal. And I feel terrible for all the guys at Lwas, Hendrick Motorsports. But I'm very proud of them and proud of everyone. We put up a strong fight. And that's big-time auto racing. This stuff happens.
Did you feel yourself run over anything at any point, Jimmie, or anything that would have told you that it might be a tire situation?
No, when I took off from that restart, I started going backwards in a hurry. And I just thought that, we adjusted on the car because it was getting dark and that the car was just a little too free. And then about 4 or 5 laps after that, I knew there was something big and I was trying to get to a caution. Unfortunately, we were the caution.
Dejectedly, Chad radioed in, thank you and let's go home. Are they going to try to fix this and get you back out there?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at things. Calipers are blown off, but there's quite a bit of work, so I'm not sure what we'll be up to. We wanted the big trophy. We don't care about anything else.
And your thoughts on that now, Jimmie, that it is over?
I look back at the season and we did everything we could. So I'm disappointed, but very proud of my team and everybody involved. Lwas and the support they give us, Hendrick Motorsports, and the hard work they put into this season. It's just too bad. We'll be back next year.
Scott Riggs.
22, is that Wimmer?
Dale Jarrett. That was Wimmer. You're right.
Looked like the 88, didn't it?
Yeah, it did look like the 88 when he went in there, but it was Scott Wimmer, Caterpillar car.
And this is, not surprising with guys taking no tires, guys taking 2 tires, guys taking 4 tires. It normally happens.
Well, that's the break that Matt Kenseth needed.
And you think the break Kyle Busch needed?
No. You think we had a shootout before? We really got one now.
Yeah.
You see the 10 car on Sterling and Marlin on the inside. Some contact between Sterling.
Takes Robbie Gordon with him.
Like Jeff Burton also in the wall. Wasn't that Jeff Burton?
Looked like it.
There we see Sterling coming up the hill, making some contact.
Sterling just slid up the racetrack and got into the left rear of Scott Riggs in the 10 car. And that's what started all this.
Hard contact by Robbie Gordon, and that was Jeff Burton at 31.
Sure was. See Gordon Jarrett go down on the apron to avoid hitting anybody.
There we see Burton at 31 making contact with the right front.
I don't expect him to be there.
Trouble Junior hard in the inside wall, back across the racetrack.
Got Truex.
Hits his teammate Truex.
And Truex was there because of a speeding violation, and that's what happens when you sometimes when you make a mistake in the pits, cost you out on the racetrack.
And this will be huge for Junior's championship chase chances.
This is pretty much it for him. He had to really come out of this race with a good day to keep their chances alive, and this pretty much does them in.
And you guys had talked about how critical the restarts are here. We heard some of the drivers voicing their concerns about them.
We heard Biffle talking to his spotter, Joel Edmonds, saying, look, tell me if they start blowing up in front of me, let me know.
We also saw Kyle Busch get out of the gas because he thought he was closing too fast. That cost him a few positions.
Accordion here. We'll see if we can see what happens. It looks like, exactly, cars go, then they slow down, and the cars in the back didn't see the guys up ahead slowing down and start running into each other.
In fact, 21 was able to get by without any.
Watch how this closes up in front of Dale Jr. He thinks everybody's accelerating. You can't see, like I said, he got turned. He got run into.
Yep, he sure did.
But the thing is, like I said earlier, you can't see 1 or 2 cars ahead.
I think maybe that was Mike Skinner behind them when he checked up. But it got in the back of it.
It's all the same thing. It's still accordion. It was a big accordion. He slowed down. We're not sure who got in the back of him, but obviously somebody did get in the back of him.
Rudd just slipping by on the inside. Robbie Gordon got a piece of it.
Behind these. Trouble.
Championship leader Jimmie Johnson has tagged the wall. That'll bring out the caution.
More than tagged the wall, perhaps.
Yes, sir. Blew up here, finished 36th a year ago.
He's knocked the fuel pump off the car and has some fire under it. I hope they're looking under the car. There you go.
There's the fire underneath the hood.
Trying to get the hood pins out so they can raise the hood. It's probably a little warm. Burns?
Guys, they told Jimmie, lean in the window. Chad Knaus ran out on the pit lane, pulled the window net down, and yelled at Jimmie, get out. The car is on fire underneath. He went to the aid of his driver and now has Jimmie on the pit lane wall.
Happen.
Tire?
Yeah.
Tire goes flat. You never see the...
This will give us a good indication. When a car stops turning like that and shoots up the racetrack, that's a tire going down.
So Jimmie limped to pit road, and there's Chad Knaus, the crew chief, who is a hands-on kind of guy. In the window, a lot of safety equipment inside of these cars. Very difficult to get in and out of the seat. The crew trying to put out the fire. The crew chief making sure his driver is okay. Dave Burns.
I asked Jimmie if he wanted to tell everyone that he's okay. I'm glad you said yes, because they want to know.
Yeah, I'm fine. Man, that was hard. That's by far the hardest hit I think I've taken. Just blew it right from the tire, and the way I went at first. So thank God for the soft walls and the on device and everything. So I'm okay. I'll be scratching my head for the next day or two, though.
You did not realize it was on fire when Chad came through the window, did you?
No, I don't really remember coming from turn 4 to the pits. I just kind of remember waking up at pit road and guys were pulling me out of the car. So it's all good.
Martin is in it. One of the championship contenders.
Elliott Sadler, the pole sitter of the 38.
Heavy damage.
Let's see if we can see what happens here, BP. You see Mark Martin there, and oh, looks like Elliott Sadler got turned by Jimmie Johnson.
Yeah, looked like he got hit by the 48 car getting down the corner.
And Michael went over twice. Look at the rear end hanging out of Michael Waltrip's car.
The 00 is Mike Skinner.
Okay, watch up front. Watch the 48 car. It just tags the 30. Just tags him. Just doesn't take a whole lot.
Michael coming here.
Poor Michael, he has no place. He makes contact with Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin.
That's what sent him over.
Yeah, Mark's the one that launched him.
Oh, man, those cars just getting by on the bottom side.
And like I said, he just looks like these cars are glued, but it just takes somebody to touch one of these bumpers in the wrong way, especially when you're in a corner. You can do it on the straightaway, as long as your steering wheel is straight, but it doesn't take a whole lot to get them sideways.
It really is a tightrope when you're racing here. I mean,
you've got to respect everybody, and you're so tight all the time. If the guy slips a little bit and gets out of the throttle, you've got somebody that's right on your bumper. So it doesn't take much for somebody to get into you.
The shocks here, but we expect to see a new rule before we race.
Oh, trouble!
Multi-car wreck in front of the field.
Oh, and Scott Briggs on his roof.
Oh, Briggs.
Man, there's been a lot of cars getting on their roof lately. There you see the 41 car, the 12 lines up. We talked about this bump trapping thing. He wasn't lined up straight when he hit the 41 car. The 41 car was just a little bit to his left. You got to give him a straight shot. And this was coming through the tri-oval, which is another problem.
And the 16 car, another Nextel Cup point contender, involved in the crash.
As was Rusty Wallace in the 2. Another look.
See what? See how these cars are turning? You can't bump draft somebody when the car is turning.
Once more. There's Biffle in the middle of it. Then he comes down off the wall.
I think would have cleared it, but he kind of got sandwiched.
Had a heck of a view.
Let's see.
Here it is.
Right behind Mike Wallace.
Stay in front of you. Stay up, stay up. Easy, back it down as much as you can.
Wow, that's not what you want to see out of your windshield.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm okay.